the scariest part about toxic love is not that they break your heart. It's that they slowly convince you to break your own. And one day, you wake up, exhausted, anxious, emotionally empty, wondering how someone you loved turned you into someone you don't even recognize anymore. Before him, she was different. She laughed louder, slept peacefully, trusted people easily. She did not overthink every text message. She did not cry herself to sleep wondering if she was too much. She loved herself naturally. Then he came into her life like a beautiful storm. And at first, it felt magical. He gave her attention she never received before. Late-night conversations, deep eye contact, words that sounded like forever. He made her feel chosen. And for a woman who spent her whole life feeling emotionally unseen, that feeling became addictive. That's how toxic relationships begin. Not with pain, with emotional dependency. The change happened slowly. He stopped communicating, started becoming cold, distant, confusing. One day he loved her deeply. The next day he treated her like she meant nothing. And instead of leaving, she worked harder to understand him, harder to please him, harder to keep the relationship alive. Meanwhile, he was slowly destroying her self-worth. This was the part nobody saw. The nights she cried silently in bed, the paragraphs she typed and deleted, the panic attacks after arguments, the way her chest tightened every time his energy changed. She became obsessed with fixing problems he kept creating. And without realizing it, she abandoned herself, trying to avoid being abandoned by him. Then, one night, she looked at old photos of herself, photos before the relationship, and she noticed something heartbreaking. That girl looked alive. The girl in the mirror now looked emotionally exhausted, like she had spent years surviving instead of living. And suddenly, the truth hit her harder than the breakup ever could. Love should not make me hate myself. Leaving him felt like withdrawal. She missed him constantly, missed the memories, missed the comfort, missed the hope that one day he would become the man she needed. But deep down, she knew something terrifying. She was not in love with reality. She was in love with potential, with who he could have been if he actually cared enough to change. Healing was ugly at first. It was loneliness, silence, empty nights, crying in grocery store parking lots, pretending to smile around friends while secretly feeling broken. But slowly, her nervous system relaxed. She stopped checking her phone every 5 minutes. She stopped blaming herself. She stopped begging for bare minimum love. And piece by piece, she started becoming herself again. If someone truly loves you, you will not constantly feel confused. You will not feel emotionally unsafe. You will not feel like you are fighting alone for the relationship. Real love brings peace, not emotional survival. So if you are listening to this tonight, still crying over someone who hurt you, remember this: you do not miss them. You miss the version of yourself who still believed love would finally feel safe. And maybe your healing begins the moment you stop trying to save the relationship and start saving yourself instead. Tell me honestly, what was the moment you realized your relationship was destroying you?